Well, hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey,
My
hey,
name is Harold
hey.
Grant, obviously HB, from so many different organizations and things and stuff like that. But right now, that's home-based poetry, branching out coaching and training services. You name it, man. I'm part of a lot of stuff. But the bottom line is today, I'm on here as your brother, as your friend, as a lover of poetry, and you all know a lover of books, big time. And I am blessed to be not just a writer myself, but to be able to build relationships with amazing authors, amazing writers, and just amazing people over my journey. A lot of those people I've been fans, most of them, all of them, that I may talk about, I'm definitely fans of. But some of those artists I've been able to call friends, and some of those we've become absolute family. I mean, to the point to where if I try to stop messing with them, I still see them at the reunion because my whole family still love them, kind of thing.
Right,
And
right.
that is absolutely the description of my amazing friend, my sister, love her with every inch of my heart. But when you take my own subjectivity out of it and I just go purely objective, she is the most prolific writer I know.
Oh,
When it comes to writing and consistency and commitment, she is my absolute hero. She's my leadership in that area. I look to her as an example because she is committed to the pen and committed to typing it and getting them ideas out there, and she's changing lives as a result. Of course,
all
I am
right.
talking about Chicago's own spoken word queen, one of the best to ever do it in the game, and author of multiple books, Miss Deana Dean, on the scene right here, hanging out with us. What's going on?
What's happening? I'm happy to
How
be
you
here.
doing?
I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, right on. I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I do. And I wanted to honestly just, I'm so impressed by you. You know what I mean? I'm just so
I
impressed
be
by
trying
you.
to impress you, so it's working.
It works constantly and consistently. You do the job, Jack. You do the job. And, we got all kind of beautiful history, obviously, and we'll get a chance to talk about that. Everything from Enigma to Chicago poetry scenes to traveling and home base. But outside of that, I want people to know who you are, right?
Okay.
And I got a lot of people that I love and care about. Blessed to have a huge amount of people that hold spaces in my heart, and I want them to just be exposed to you, know how dope you are, know how phenomenal you are, and then have access to your work. Because anybody that's putting a library together, whether it's looking for fiction, realistic fiction, you've written that, to poetry books, you've done that, to poetry CDs, to poetry DVD. I mean, Jesus Christ, didn't you have like a poetry 8-track or something back in that? You know what I mean? Like, you do it
Just about.
all.
Just about.
First poem on papyrus up in this joint. You know what I mean? We've been in the game for a minute, my love. So do me a favor, just, tell my folks who you are. Everybody's watching. This is friends, family, and whatnot, people that obviously we care about. So just tell them a little bit about who you are, where you're from, what do you do, and all that good stuff. But just know we're going to talk about this.
Absolutely.
Then we're going to talk about that right there.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All
ma'am. So, okay, the floor is yours.
right. So I am Deana Dean, Chicago born and raised. I'm raised here, but I have got some southern roots too. My
Yeah,
dad was in the South. We were here, so I will go back and forth. Um, I'm a fighter.
yeah.
I'm a mom. I'm a sister. I'm a daughter, and I think I might be an empath too. I feel a lot of things very deeply, and
Yeah,
that's why I'm able to write the way that I write.
yeah,
And, create characters because I feel all of that inside of me.
yeah.
Um, I'm crazy.
I can vouch. I can
A little
vouch.
combative, but I'm learning. I'm getting too old to be combative. I'm learning, and I'm a lot of fun, and that's a fact.
1,000%. 1,000. I appreciate your realness. You know what I mean? Like you just 100. Your energy, and you're not afraid to to dialogue, to converse, to discuss the areas that you're working on. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't do that. In a situation like this, you don't say that, "Well, I'm working on that," right? So that really speaks to a level of humility, and especially in this social media age, right?
Yeah, because
How
everybody combative now.
right? Everybody combative, but everybody also front.
Right.
Everybody trying to, this is all the great stuff. Well, what about
Right.
them depression days, right? What
Right.
about them
Right.
bad habits? Oh, like I could talk a little too much. I'm working on
Right.
economy of words, right? So what gave you the space and the freedom to be comfortable sharing your areas of growth, right? Like, how did you get this level of, because that takes self-esteem, that takes belief in yourself, that takes being sure of yourself and being okay with who you are. Tell me a little bit about that journey, especially as a Black woman. Tell me
Well,
about that journey a little bit in finding yourself.
okay, so I turned 52 this year.
Okay.
And so that's a lot of it. I become more and more aware of who I am, self-aware every day.
Yeah.
And having friends that also that call me on my bullshit, and friends who celebrate my wins.
Mhm.
And I always like when I'm listening to poetry, I want to believe it.
Yeah.
Like if you're up there on that stage or I'm reading, I want to believe it. And so it was always important to me that I come across genuine. And to come across genuine, you got to get real with yourself. You have to admit who you are. You have to see who you are, and be able to verbalize that. And you can't do it if you're not willing to admit that you have these flaws, or if you're hiding from yourself. If you hide from yourself, you can't share yourself with anybody.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that's one of the biggest things why I have, because I used to, I'm spoiled, I'm a brat, only child. My
Yeah.
mama's only child, my daddy's baby. I got away with a lot, and brats, brats, young brats turn into older brats. So
Ooh,
I'm still bratty. I'm still bratty, but
that's good.
but not as bad as I was. And I know when I'm being bratty. And
Yeah.
I know when I'm overcompensating, or I know when I'm sad, but I'm showing that I'm mad. But I had to learn all of that stuff.
I was going
And
to ask you that. You know what I mean? That's not something that most people have grasped,
yeah,
right? They're only happy or angry,
yeah,
and a lot of times you got those other emotions, and they just come out that way.
that way.
You how I appreciate just the age thing, but I know people that's 53 that ain't learned
Right,
that.
right,
That's 60 that's still ridiculous,
yeah,
right? But you're
right.
getting your lessons along the way. How did you even realize that you needed to grow?
Um, I, I don't know.
Or have you always just been open or trying to get better?
I've always felt like I had some grow. I had to grow.
Okay,
I'm always trying to be better than the last Deana. Like
there you go.
every day I want to be better than the last thing. The things that I would have done 10 years ago, 15 years ago, me snapping out at the club and going off on the mic and all that type of stuff, like,
Yeah.
about to get y'all in a fight cause of me. That ain't cool. That
I
ain't
was
cool.
there.
That I'm gonna be dead wrong. I'm gonna say something on the mic, and dare somebody to touch me because I got all these people around me who wouldn't dare. But that's
Right.
irresponsible. You have to be responsible with that level of power and that level of love. The people you need to earn that and be worthy of that love. And if I love you, I don't want you fighting somebody because of my mouth.
Mm.
I don't want that. So I had to think about it. I had to be a better person, and everything you feel don't have to come out your mouth. Now that was hard.
Ooh,
That was hard, but
ooh, you dropping knowledge. I'm over here trying to make sure people don't miss this because
hey,
you raising people today. You know what
thank
I'm saying?
you. Well, that's
So
how I'm able to make
go
my
ahead.
characters too. Like
Again.
in the book in Boy Crazy, everybody's favorite one of everybody's favorite characters is Tony, and Tony is a spitfire. Tony fights. Tony curses
Mhm.
everybody out. You know, she wins all the fights. You know, she got a real slick mouth, nasty mouth, all that. But the new book, Tony, we found out why. We
Mm.
found because a lot of those responses from us are trauma responses. That's
Man,
my
that's real.
trauma speaking to you.
That's real.
Yeah, so when I overreacted and I was irrational and irresponsible with, you know, the love people have for me, that's my trauma speaking. So I
Mm.
had to get loud. I had to let the love be louder than the trauma.
Ooh.
So yeah, so it's
And
able
is your
to
trauma speaking? Let the love be louder. I
got
can't
to,
I can't type fast enough. I'm over
got
here
to,
like, yo, that's that real. You know what I mean? And
because we are traumatized. That's a fact.
mhm, yeah,
That is a fact. We're traumatized.
when you say we're traumatized, because you know I have a real serious passion when it comes to mental health
Yeah.
and speaking about trauma and vicarious trauma and compassion fatigue and
Yeah.
to the point of going back to school, right, to study this,
Mm-hmm.
mostly because I've suffered from all
All
you,
that stuff.
you're gonna be
Right.
hard pressed to find a mental health situation I ain't I
Right.
ain't bragging, but I done been around
Right.
the block a little.
You got it out. You run the gamut.
You know, I run the gamut. You know what I'm saying? I did that for y'all, everybody. I did it for y'all so I can know what I'm talking about. But when you talk about trauma, what do you mean about that? Why don't you tell me a little bit more?
Well, it's hard being black. It is.
Mm,
And so many of our parents didn't know how to love us right. Or, you know,
yeah.
like my mom, she coddled me, but she let other people discipline me who had no business disciplining me.
Mm,
People that didn't even like me. She
right.
should have never did that. But I
Right.
do realize my mother had a traumatic brain injury when I was 3. So
Right.
I realized that a lot of the things that I was angry at her about in my childhood, like she wouldn't have done that if she had never had that aneurysm. She was just trying to survive. And then
Yeah.
she got this rambunctious, you know, smart mouth little girl who's already spoiled. So and she always wanted to be my friend, so she didn't discipline me. But she let somebody who didn't like me discipline me, and that was a problem. That was a
Mm,
problem. So that's trauma for me. And
yeah.
then our fathers got this thing where they gotta be so tough all the damn time. So
Yeah.
I would go visit my father for the summer, and it seemed like to me he was making his life go to hit me while I was there. Like nigga, I see you once a year, you gotta hit me every time you see me.
So you talking about a parent that, and you ain't the only one that went through that. I met my dad later. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I mean, not taking away from your experience. You know what I mean?
yo,
Yours
I know you.
was
Yeah,
solid. You know what I mean? Obviously, what it is, other people can relate to it. Is what I'm
yeah,
trying to say. And having an adult that hasn't built that relationship punish you or
right,
discipline you, uh,
right.
or
And I'll
whatnot.
be
Do you
like, what?
think there needs Right? Do you think
I'm
there needs to be a balance of the love, as you know what I mean?
right. Yeah, I'm not here for a month. You gotta hit me.
Right.
You
Right.
gotta figure out a reason to hit me because you feel like my mama don't hit me enough. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. So my
Right.
mama, so you just gonna hit me just for anything because she don't do it enough.
Just to make sure you get
Just
it.
love me while I'm here. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
Love me while I'm here. You ain't got to beating up on me.
Is that something? I mean, this is something that I've heard, amongst us, amongst the community. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real clear. We're black, obviously, and we black as hell. Like we ain't kind of black, right? You know what I mean? Don't let the tone mess you up. It goes
Right, right.
right. But you know, the time I've been able to spend in other communities, the poor white folk,
Mm-hmm.
same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Same thing. Sometimes we just don't know it because we ain't over there.
Right,
Poor
right.
white folk, poor Mexican families, Latino families. So many of these families lean on that physical discipline
Yes.
and sometimes lean on it, too hard. Do you think any of these old kind of passed down ways of raising kids, do you think any of that is detrimental? Because you hear somebody like a Steve Harvey and different folks say it didn't kill me.
I talk about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so full disclaimer, I did spank my kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I I regret it.
Mm.
Yeah, I regret it, and
Wow.
I've told them that. Like, I'm sorry. I was 16 when I had Rob, and I was 20 when I had Marshawn. I was
Right.
married at 19, so
Wow.
I was really just trying to figure it out.
Right.
And we get whoopings in the black community. That's
Yeah.
how I do to discipline them. Well, discipline him. So Robin, she never had a, but
Right.
I regret that. I wish I had never done that, and it's traumatic to you. It's traumatic because people say they're whooping you for their own good, but they're not. They're whooping you because they're angry with you, and you're hitting me because you're mad at me. You're hitting me because you didn't like something I did,
Right.
and this is how you know it's sick. You get to that age where you be like, I ain't gonna cry no more. They
Mm.
hitting you and I ain't gonna cry.
Oh
You know
yeah.
that stuff to their ego. Oh, you
Yeah.
tough now.
Right. Make
Oh,
them
you
go harder.
oh you ain't gonna cry. So I thought you was thanking me to discipline me. You want to see me cry.
You want to see me hurt.
You want to hurt me,
Right.
and
Right.
that's a problem. And it's hard enough out here in this world for these black kids. Be somewhat soft for them.
Yeah.
They get hard everywhere else.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
your home be a safe haven. You should not be in a house where you scared of the people that's in there with you.
You should not be
That's
a
no way to live.
you should not be afraid in your home.
Exactly.
You should not, I was just talking to my man's about this, and obviously it's a matured conversation, because we're society's changing, we're changing, we're growing, we're learning more
Right.
about trauma. Nobody was talking about trauma,
Right.
in the day. And so learning more about this stuff. But if you whoop your kids even if you whoop your kids all the time, you lazy. You
That's
don't understand.
lazy
That's just
parenting. It
lazy
is.
parenting,
It is.
not willing
It
to,
is.
step up and do the thing, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I'm not saying it's super clear cut, but it's like,
Yeah.
come on,
I
fam.
really wish at 16 or 17 I would have had the resources and I could have gone to like some parenting classes or
Right,
but I was in survival mode.
right,
I was just doing what I know, but I know that I'm still traumatized by it.
right.
And people, they don't want to believe that their parents did something to them that wasn't right. So
Yeah,
they're gonna fight against it. And but you're not disrespecting your parents by saying they shouldn't have did that to you.
right.
They
This
did
was an
that.
area of growth. They could have
And,
did better.
and they always say, I got whooped in my aunt and I'm okay. First of all, I want your kids to be more than okay.
Thank you. That's a
I,
low
I,
standard.
yeah, I
I'm
want them to
I'm
be
still alive. So
Lord.
is you just trying not to kill
Yeah,
them?
I want them. But another thing is, you're not okay. You mean that above.
Yep.
Right now, us talking about you not whooping them kids got you on the moon.
Right.
That's not
Right.
okay. You're
Right.
violent because you were taught that when you do something wrong, someone gets to be violent towards you.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. No, this is big time. No, you dropping so many jewels right
Yeah,
now.
I had to figure it out because I was still hurting from it.
Yeah. Now,
And the people that did it is gone.
when you say I was still hurting, and the people that did it was gone,
They're
right? I
gone.
was still hurting. What age are you still hurting about what happened then? What age are you referring to when you say still?
I got some really like serious like pain regarding when I from 10 years old. So for
Yeah.
42 years.
Wow.
For
To
40
this day,
years.
you
To this
still,
day, yeah.
still,
And anybody who I could have held responsible for it, they're gone.
wow.
They're
So
gone.
the
So
ones,
it's like I have to get that off of me.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
they're gone.
yeah.
And maybe they were doing the best that they could. I don't know.
Right,
I
right.
don't I know that, I couldn't imagine being 33 years old. No, she wasn't even 33. She was 31
Mm-hmm.
with a 3-year old,
Mm-hmm.
twice divorced, living in LA, and then have a traumatic brain injury.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
Like that's like, and then after that, she was disabled.
yeah,
And we lived with my grandmother, and my grandmother um coddled my mother because
yeah,
she lost her baby.
yeah.
So then I became public enemy number one because I'm just normal.
Right.
I'm just normal. I'm just a kid.
Right.
Y'all want me to be able to act like an old lady. I'm
Yeah.
3, the fucking 4, I'm 5. I'm supposed to run around. I'm supposed to be loud. I'm
Right.
supposed to do all these things.
I'm glad
So,
you said that. Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I want to ask you something about just that kind of spirit. And because we talk about this a lot, right? And I'm all
right.
you for how you represent, but I do want to say before we jump off of the physical punishment and whooping your kids, the trauma of whooping our kids from yesterday, right? That's
hmm
yesterday's trauma. That's the same as yelling at them today.
Yeah.
That's the same. I mean, that may be today's screaming, today's yelling. And I try to tell parents, yo, quit cursing at your kids. You curse around them, that's to taste or whatever, right?
Right.
But cursing at
At
them,
them,
yelling at them
it
all
degrades them.
the time, it's very degrading.
Yeah.
It's really something else, and that could create, and it has created trauma and fear and things like that in folks too, right?
You
So
know what else it creates?
don't pat yourself too much for not
Right.
whooping your kids. If you screaming at them every day, you in their
Right.
face, emasculating your sons because you don't know
Yeah.
how to raise a son. And I'm sorry, but that ain't doing it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
That's not
You
doing
know
it.
what else it raises?
What's
It
that?
creates bullies. Because if you're in the house, if you're at home and you're the littlest person there,
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting beat up by everybody in the house,
Mm-hmm.
where you gonna put that anger?
Yeah, that's real. That's
You gotta
real.
put it somewhere. And
That's
so
real.
now you taught me that when someone makes me angry, I can hit them.
Mm,
So that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah, we don't need that.
Exactly.
We don't need that. No,
Yeah.
I appreciate that because I mean, you just 100% right. I just can't say it again.
Mm.
So you spoke about just to shift attention a little bit, and for those that's watching, please comment, ask questions. I'm looking at some of the comments. I see Drea on there, cousin Lisa sending love.
Hey y'all.
Hector is on there telling you to preach. Hector's like preach. You know what I mean? And of course, we got Dot on there as well. She's
Where's
co-signing
she been?
everything I'm saying. Hey, you hear her? Hey, Dondra, you hear her talking to you. Where you been?
Right.
So when we talk about being rambunctious and you was a rambunctious, young person and things, you still a little rambunctious. I'm gonna invite you to stop moving your legs. I'm gonna invite you to stop doing all that. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
I ain't trying to give them a show that they not ready for. They not
Right.
ready. They not ready.
They're not
So, but you are, you talk about being just loud. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And having that pride in being loud and being out there, but also how having that attitude, being that black girl with the attitude, how that gets misunderstood and sometimes people treat you as older than you are and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you have such a beautiful perspective on black girls and
Yeah.
then the women that they turn into.
Yeah.
Could you speak on that a little bit?
Um. Well, I feel like I don't know about other communities because I haven't lived in those communities, but it
Yeah.
seems
Talk
like
black. Talk what you know.
it seems like we spend a lot of time um trying to break our kids' spirit.
Hmm.
So like the loud kid, the wild kid, the kid who you say always needs so much attention. That might be the next Janet Jackson.
Right.
That might be the next Beyonce.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barack. Don't let them don't break your baby's spirit
Come on.
because back in the day they was breaking your spirit for you to save you. Because they was afraid for you to be loud. They was afraid for you to be a rebel. They was afraid because that was gonna get you hurt.
Mm.
We're not there anymore.
Hmm.
Let that baby be extra.
Hmm.
Let that baby be wild. If they too wild, take them some let them run around the track or something.
Yeah.
But don't break them from it because you could be breaking something that can be well, we already know they already gonna be wonderful and great. You're breaking greatness because you don't understand it. Take some time to learn your kids. You don't own your kids. You don't. They're
Uh,
people.
come on.
They're
Come on.
people, and you have to learn how to deal with them. What might work with Ella might not work with Quattro.
It don't.
It don't. They're
It
two
don't.
totally different And what might work for you, Mister? I'm not mad in 1975. I got beat down every day. Well, that probably ain't gonna work for your grandbabies or your babies.
Right. Right.
And we
Right.
was out here gang banging and shit. What you mean you all right?
Right. We was
It's
wilding.
okay.
We was wilding. We're not
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
You're not okay.
Right.
So,
No.
and I
Yeah.
just got a thing about people, trying to silence children and trying to silence black women. And, it's just like patriarchy is like in every aspect of our lives.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
the time. And, I used to have some internalized misogyny. I thought I was better than other women,
Mm.
because I'm smarter, or,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm more quick witted, or my
Mm-hmm.
hair is longer, I'm cuter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to feel like that, but that's
Yeah.
all a part of misogyny where I felt like, y'all can treat her like that because she ain't me. Well,
Wow.
she wouldn't do me like that, but they would. But they
So
would.
so it's possible, but they would, right? They would
Yeah,
have
they
no
would.
problem using you,
Yeah.
but you kind of, you know what I mean? So it's possible for women to perpetuate and move forward, right? Just like it's possible for black folks to move forward, anti-black, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Movement. And when did you realize that you were participating in that?
Honestly, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow.
Like very, very recent.
Yeah.
Very, because
Yeah.
even sometimes when my memories will come up on Facebook, I cringe like, why did you say that?
So hold on.
Don't say that.
You telling me that you get to be a person that says something and then grow as a human and then
Hello?
look back and say, that wasn't the right thing to say.
That was
And
wrong.
your your growth should be honored instead of punishing you for the rest of your life
Right, right.
for something you said. Is that
Yeah,
what we're saying?
yeah. When I wasn't educated, when I wasn't as in tune with my other sisters,
Right.
maybe I was a little bit too male centered,
Mhm.
um, stuff like that. But I
What
was
do you
just
mean?
like,
It's two things you just said. Look, first of all, everybody that's watching, this was not the plan to go into this. Like
but this
we
is how our conversations
are
go
rails.
anyway.
Huh?
This is how our conversations go when we on the phone. So,
Period. Period. We all over the map. We all
right.
over the map. So you just said two things. You said more educated
Mm-hmm.
and you said male centered. So I want you to talk about that because a lot of times when a person says educated, they're thinking formal education,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is a very smart. I know some dumb people with a lot of degrees,
Right, right,
and they could barely cross the street and chew bubble
right.
gum at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I would love for you to speak on that. What do you mean when you mean educated, and how did you get to the point to where you say, "Let me educate myself"? Like, where did that hunger come from?
Well,
And when you say male centered, okay, I get to
okay,
the
so
male
male
centered.
centered is we do spend a lot of time, I honor men.
Yeah, yeah,
Like my father, I used to make his drinks when I was like 12. So
right,
I was trained like that, like
right.
to cook for him and make his drinks and stuff like that. And I got a lot of male friends, and I just love y'all. And so I've learned I would be subservient towards men, and even like I will understand, like, but he did that, but I ain't, he did a bad thing, but he ain't a bad man. I
Right.
had that type of mindset, and I still had that type of mindset about some of y'all. But I am also able to see that, like, some of these guys, they be on some bull, and they don't deserve nobody to serve them
That's real.
in
That's real.
real
It took you
life.
a
They
minute to
just
hit
don't.
that point to where that's not what everyone deserves.
Right. And I don't know whose quote this was, but it was about feminism, and it was like you have to be a fool not to be on your own side. There it is. There it is.
What you
So I'm
gonna
on
say?
my side.
Right,
I'm on my
right.
side. I'm on the side with the sisters.
There you go.
For real. And what was the other part?
Now I want to kind of continue to hit that a little bit because you said something. You just said something that just based off of what I read in social media and things like that, and some other cultures and their definition and approach to feminism.
Right.
But obviously a novice, so I'm coming at it from a curious space,
Right.
just from observation. But a lot of them would recoil at what you said about honoring men or making a drink, making a plate, things like that, even though you said everyone don't deserve it. I know some would believe you don't do that for nobody. Like some have taken such, went way in the other direction. Have you had those conversations with other women and those discussions, or do you find that a lot of sisters do feel like you feel and enjoy some of those roles that's been passed down?
I really haven't had a whole lot of conversation about it, but I will say this: I'm subservient to men and women in my life. So if you come over to my house, you heard him, I'm going to fix your plate.
Yeah,
I'm going to fix your drink.
Right.
I'm going to see if you're okay.
Right.
But I'm not going to treat the brothers better than I treat the sisters. I'm not, because we're all human. But if I love you and I got you in my domicile, I got you in my space, I don't mind being a servant for you.
Yeah.
There's no ego in that for me.
Right.
So that's what I learned. I learned to treat people according to how they treat me. And some of these men are bogus and some of these women are bogus. So treat people accordingly, because we ain't that different.
Say again?
We ain't that different.
We ain't that different.
Absolutely. Ain't that different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know you and I, we talk a lot. We both have that servant spirit. I love taking care of people. You know what I mean? I take care of my brothers. I take care of my sisters.
Yeah, absolutely.
I call my daughter and son, ma'am and sir. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's
used to that, right?
That's how so I definitely appreciate that and appreciate being able to take care of each other without thinking too hard about it.
Right. It's not that big of a deal.
It ain't that big of a deal. So no, thank you for that. And thank you for that clearing that piece up, because I was having a conversation with someone about reciprocal submission.
Right.
You know what I mean? And do I believe I should be, submission? Yeah. But do I also submit?
Absolutely.
Like if you know more about money.
Right. You got that, right.
I'm like, yo, handle that. Tell me what you need me to do. Like you're the expert in that arena.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it just makes sense when someone has more of the knowledge, in a particular area.
Now, the moment that I feel like somebody is trying to make me do something,
you don't like that?
Oh, I'm not doing it now. You messed up now. Now this is bad. I won't do something I want to do because somebody else tried to do it. I haven't grown out of that.
That's so ridiculous.
Sure, but I get my heels and like, no.
And I've seen you do it. You like, I'm thirsty, drink some water. Nope. I ain't doing it. Be like, but you thirsty.
You don't tell me what to do.
Right. I love it, man. I love it. So you brought up education. You brought up and then we need to talk about writing. We ain't talked about writing yet.
We haven't.
We have not, and we're over 30 minutes.
The conversation. Though. When I say educated, I read a lot. I haven't gone back to school or anything. I read a lot. I study people, and I got like scholars all around me, like you, Son, Kahari, Carmen, like great minds. You know what I'm saying? And well, first of all, a smart person can learn from anybody.
Absolutely,
anybody. But when I used to have some very like just stubborn, obstinate ways, and I've grown from that because I've around a lot of great people who have taught me to look at things a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned. I read a lot. And pay a lot of attention.
So. Right on. That's so many people don't read. They say they don't read, but they read all the time.
Yeah.
It reminds me of all those posts you read. You've read 10 books.
Right.
A month.
For
You
real.
read 10 books every month. You just
Absolutely.
read them in little posts that usually don't mean nothing.
No,
You
exactly.
know what I mean? If you just shifted that a little bit, you could be building your intellectual arsenal.
Absolutely.
And you could carry that as opposed to all this extra information about, different celebrities that don't know you're alive.
That right. And don't care
You
nothing
know?
about you.
And I believe in entertainment, don't get me wrong,
Right.
because you're not taking my Marvel and,
Right.
Boba Fett right now is going real hard.
What
Okay,
is it?
everybody. Boba Fett,
I
it's
ain't got I don't
amazing.
got that much.
Yeah, it's nerds,
Right.
Mandalorian nerd stuff.
I get it.
But that's definitely helpful. So, all right, let's dive into the writing.
Okay.
When did you start writing, and what did you start writing?
Okay, so like in high school I used to write a little bit, I might like some boy and I wrote a poem about him or
There you go.
whatever. But
If
then
it worked, if it worked. Oh, by the way, everyone, Deana is a certified Mac.
oh I
So
am.
be careful, because if she get in your ear, it's Goldie all over again. It's going
Got him.
got him.
Got him.
Chicago style.
Right. But I always talk too much. I always was a big talker. So when the people in my family, we started having like funerals, people passing away, they would ask me to speak. So I would speak, but the first time was for my grandmother. And when I wrote something out, it was a poem.
Yeah.
And so then after that, my aunts, they passed, and I was always writing poetry for funerals.
Right.
Right. And then I started branching out from that. Just because I'm like, who do I keep on talking about people dying? So I started writing more stuff, and then I started coming out to the poetry scene. And baby, when I got to the poetry scene, I was like, wait till they hear me. I ain't ready for this right here. And by the third open back, I was like,
did you lay your outfit out though? Did you?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? With the outfit laid.
I'm gonna blow them away. I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Put the shoes on there, like bam.
By the third poem, I was like, I gotta rewrite all of this shit. I gotta rewrite all of this stuff. Java Oasis was my rude awakening.
Miss Java Oasis.
I love Java Oasis. But that's why I learned that I wasn't as good as I thought I was, and that's how I got as good as I am.
Could you say that again?
Please. That's why I learned that I wasn't as good as I thought I was, and that's how I got as good as I am.
That's cold. That's cold.
I didn't even know people like that existed in Java Oasis.
Look, babe, but Dean, they resist. People resist recognizing that they're not as dope as they family told you. Family told you was dope. Right. Like your sister, she's just happy you ain't out here shooting people.
Well, read it at the Easter play, and you'll be good. But if you like the Easter play, you might feel a little bit better.
That was cold. That being able to say, whoa, but you went back and you stepped your game up. That's that growth mindset versus fixed mindset.
Right.
That's that I could be better. I can do better.
Absolutely.
Love that philosophy.
Absolutely.
Love that philosophy. So you said you was going to do better, right? So what did you do to be better?
I just paid a lot of attention.
Okay, because you got to have a lot of writers.
Yeah.
Looking at this because you're honored. Okay.
On what I liked and what I didn't like, and I'm a reader. And if you read a lot, your vocabulary gets better and better. And I just really worked at it. Like, I really, really worked at it. I would be driving down the street reciting my poetry everywhere I'm at. This before people have ear Bluetooth, so I was talking to myself, but I didn't care because I was reciting and learning how to perform.
Yep.
And it took a while. It's like any other skill, you got to build it up. You can have raw talent, but you got to put some skill with it too.
Yes.
And that's what going to the open mics did for me.
Yes. You got to perfect it, man. You got to put some discipline on it. Because the person that's willing to work hard is going to pass up the person that was gifted.
That's good anyway, right? Right.
I think about that one Bible story where they was given talents and some went and multiplied them, right?
Right.
And one of the cats buried it. and was like, I got the same talent. You were supposed to make that bigger, fam.
Right, absolutely.
You messed that up. You messed that up. So no, I mean, that was an amazing time, and that was the time where we met, right?
Absolutely.
So we got a chance to meet
I
during
think
that
I
time.
met you at Ruby's Jewel Box.
Do you remember how?
You brought Queen Sheba with you. And I was hosting an open mic.
You know, I went to go see you before that.
Did you where?
It was out south somewhere.
Okay.
I saw you at Java Oasis, and I was like, I like her. And I was on Enigma and really trying to, you know what I mean, build a coalition of sorts, right? Just build the circle. And I was like, and you were performing somewhere, and I would go and
and look at us now,
go and check you out.
Look at us now. Yep. When you walked into Ruby's with all that hair, I was like, oh, he about to kill it. He about to kill it. Let me tell you something. I almost stopped writing poetry because of y'all.
Whatever. And when she say y'all, everyone, she's talking about Enigma.
I'm talking about Enigma.
My brothers, Damon, Jose, and Terrence. And for those of you that know, all these brothers, they write poetry. People like they
are phenomenal. Oh. I was talking to Bernard about this Thursday.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Bernard, our manager.
Talking backwards and walking backwards. I said, well, fuck them. First of all, I'm too clumsy to be walking backwards. I'm gonna trip over something. Then you gotta keep up with your steps and what you saying. I was like,
right.
And we're gonna tell the truth right now. Enigma was the first people to have people coming out the crowd to spit with them. Tell
you know, I ain't want to say it. I want to go say
it. Enigma was the first ones who was surprising people with people walking up out the crowd onto the stage.
Thank you. Yeah, you know what was funny? Thank you for that. Is Chicago is a tough city.
It definitely is.
And because everybody, if you got talent in Chicago, somebody's gonna be like, my cousin do that. Everybody got a cousin and do what you do better. And that's just the spirit sometimes. Right? But if you persevere and push through, there's no love like Chicago love either. And I remember when we first spit, it was like you, it wasn't a lot of love back then.
Right.
Boy, like we about to kill
this shit.
We're leaving no survivors. We're going for it. And when I would start the poem because they knew me as the poet. And somebody be sitting next to you and just stand up and go off. That was fun stuff. That was a good time.
Crazy.
That
was crazy.
Yeah.
You remember y'all was in that contest I was voting for? I was judging.
I don't.
It was at a bar somewhere.
We performed so much. It was all the time.
Yeah.
It was all the time. So no, that's super dope, man. And we could talk about, man, we could reminisce. We're gonna have to do one of these. I could do this with up to like 10 folks. So we're gonna have to get everybody on here from the Java Oasis crew. You know what I mean?
Get a reunion. Like as soon as Corona stopped acting so promiscuous and giving herself to everybody.
Why did you say Corona's promiscuous?
She out here.
She out here wrong?
Yeah, she out here just giving herself to everybody.
No even conversations.
Oh, not even you guys.
And getting to know nobody. COVID got some self-hate going on.
Absolutely.
COVID got some self-hate.
Low self-esteem.
COVID got low self-esteem. That's why she got all these people, out here. We need, and everybody talking about COVID. COVID needs some love, and we need to heal COVID up as
therapy.
Heal her spirit. COVID need therapy so she can leave people alone. You know what? I can appreciate that. I can appreciate.
But whenever she stopped hovering all over the world, we can have us a reunion one day.
For sure.
Because that was tight.
I can't wait.
Danny, HB, Musaya,
Ayana, Gone to Georgia. Like, yeah. Some monsters came out of that.
Triple Black. I mean,
Trip. Oh, absolutely.
Mirage. It was some very talented.
That was an ignorant group of folks. So look, let's do this, right?
Okay.
Now we're just talking for each other because we just like,
Okay.
oh, you remember? They don't know
Listen,
nothing,
right.
right? So, and we're 45 minutes in. We're gonna get it 15 more minutes, but I want to spend all that time talking about your books,
Okay.
right? So,
Hey.
hold on, there we go.
Hey,
Get
that's
your
my favorite
copy
book.
now on Amazon.
Yeah.
Merrill Avenue, poetry, prose,
And
and
magic.
magic.
And that's my mama on the
You like
cover.
it? I know, with her fine self. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's my mother.
I be trying not to be
She's
disrespectful,
so pretty. I
but
showed
mom
her.
kind of
When
fine.
I saw that picture, I said, well, that's the cover.
That's
I
it.
want to know what my mama was doing sitting up on that car with gloves on.
In front of the park. I'm just saying,
Right.
if I'm
That's on
walking
West Side
past,
too. That's on
if I
West Side.
walk past the park,
Yeah.
no
That's on the West Side.
disrespect.
That wasn't on Merrill Avenue. That's when they lived out west.
No disrespect. But if she was sitting on the car looking like, I would have had to be like, hey, look,
That's so ignorant.
I would have macked your moms down. That's all I'm saying. No
I mean,
disrespect.
you would have, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I
I'm sure.
told you remind me of my dad. Yeah, you would have.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite book. Boy
Right.
Crazy. I wrote Boy
Was that
Crazy.
the first one, Boy Crazy?
That's the first book, yeah.
Okay.
I wrote that maybe 10, 15 years ago and just never even had the courage to publish it or anything like that. So when I finally published it a few years back, it was super big, too long, 500 some pages. It's a good book though. It's a good book. It is, but it was long. So we republished it in 2 parts.
So
And
the
so
Iliad,
that's
so
1, 2.
Shrugged.
And then Call Me Tony is a spinoff from
Yeah.
Boy Crazy. And we get to find out more about Tony and her family and what caused her to put up the walls that she has and why she likes to fight all the time and stuff like that. We get that from her. I'm currently writing part 2 to that.
Okay.
But Merrill Avenue.
Hey.
That's my baby right there.
Hey.
That's my baby right there. You know, it's some of my most favorite poems. And thanks to you and having a good coach, I was able to write in a way that does not collapse on paper. So either you hear it, if you know my voice when you read it, you're gonna read it in my voice. But even if you don't know my voice, you're gonna be able to understand it and enjoy it. So I am very proud of this. I didn't put my mom's picture on just anything.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
Come on.
Yeah,
It's handled with care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's beautiful. Look, would you mind sharing?
Sure, yeah.
Did you share it? Right? Read
No,
something.
I never read y'all out loud. I never read my poetry. So here we go. Okay, so it says, today, I give you my heart with strings attached. Because we attached through lifestyles and circumstances, wide smiles and second chances. It's time we abandon any practice that makes you question your worth. You've birthed nations and movements, created and cared for humans. You've proven you're worthy of pursuing through action and intention. You've been a vixen and a viper, the smoke and the fire. You are the perfect cipher, 360 degrees black. Attract kings and paupers. You are air and water. You are a daughter of destiny, mother of the earth. That's why your hurt could never define you. You work how the Creator designed you. Forget anyone who's ever maligned you. I'm here to remind you you're greater than your past, more important than your last love affair. If love was fair, we all be spoiled and pampered, all be enamored, never left shattered with shards where our hearts used to be, hard where our soft used to be. But if we never lost, you and me couldn't be survivors, couldn't be providers of perfect peace, givers of sweet relief, exterminators of grief, and we wouldn't be who we are. We are the stars that light the universe, sent to right the universe. Anytime you've been hurt, you gain wisdom and feelings, maintain rhythm and healing. Healing hands been building dams since the first sign of flood. There's a cure in your hugs, a promise in your kiss. You enhance everyone around you. Your presence is a gift. Consider this a declaration. Whether you're docile or brazen, you are simply amazing, breathtaking, and sister, I'll make it plain. You were love before love even had a name.
Ooh, come on. That's Merrill Avenue
Merrill
Poetry,
Avenue.
Prose, and Magic. Make sure to go hop on Amazon. Support our authors because we are the authors, are the recorders of history.
The
And not
bell
the
ringers.
history that they're talking about, but what's really going on in the community, in on the block, what's in the spirit of the people
Right.
are being written. It's being written right now.
Right.
Right now. So, Deana, you're one of the best. You're one of the best in the game. And, let me make sure everybody know you can go on Amazon to grab this Joker. So just go on Amazon, right? This is Deana Dean's Instagram, her Facebook. I want to make sure I don't forget to tell people how to get to you. And we also have, and I would love, and Phoenix, let me know, Arizona, I think we should and can have a book signing out here.
I would love that. That's why
I would
I'm
love for you to come out. Let us know. Hit the comments up. Would you like to have a book signing? Would you be interested? It's something you would come to. You know what I mean? We would love to have you. And I think it'll be just amazing. It'll be just amazing. We actually have a Black-owned bookstore out here now. Amazing brother making it happen. So make sure y'all support right in downtown Phoenix, Grassroots Bookstore. Go to their Instagram, just like it so you can see all the things going on. Man, there's books in there you can't get nowhere else in Phoenix.
That's dope.
That's why Black bookstores are so important, because there's books in Black bookstores you will never find in other bookstores.
Right.
And it's something about going to see books in person. You know what I mean?
It's just different.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. Maybe we could get you to like spit some stuff as well. You know what I mean? How you feel about that?
When, now or there?
I mean, I was talking about there, and I was gonna build up to now.
I don't give too much. They gotta buy a book to get some more. But yeah, I definitely want to spit something when I get there.
Yeah, see, that's fair.
I like know.
You got that business mind. Is there anything else? We got like 7 minutes, right? Is there anything you want to make sure people know about you? What do you want them to know? What do you want to share? What, maybe not even about you, just a thought. What do you want to leave folks with?
Remember the artist. The artist makes the ugly parts of life beautiful. We are the recorders of history. And the bell ringers. So always be good to the artists. Yeah. People might not think that art is necessary, but it absolutely is. Because without art, where would we be?
Yeah.
And we need something beautiful to look at and see and hear. And that's what the artists are here for. So remember the artists always.
Especially now.
Absolutely.
We need the artists more than ever. More than ever. Thank you, for taking time out your day. To kick it with us, and I hope please share this video, man. Share it. Support Deana Dean. Go get the book. Get a couple copies. You know what I'm saying? Let this be the gifts that you give out. But we're really, really happy, and let's be 100. This ain't just something I do. It ain't like I got an interviewing show, and it's like, next up, Deana Dean. It was like, no. We're gonna interview you just because people need to know who you are. I feel passionately about that, and I know this is gonna resonate with the people who it's supposed to resonate with.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like 1000%. But somebody did say something in the comments. Before we go, everyone, do you have a question? We still got like 5 more minutes. Do you have a question? Anything you want to share? We got comments. K Love is on here with hearts.
That's my baby.
Love. Absolutely, man. She's right here. And Tishana said, beautiful poem, right? Beautiful poem. They're agreeing with you. Chris Lee agreeing with you just the whole time through. K Love on there with another heart. She just hardened this whole thing up. You know what I mean? Raphael, good to see you, good brother. Hope you're doing well. And somebody said, and this is awesome. Let's show this one. right? Marlena said, been listening. Thanks for having this live show. Hope there would be more. Maybe we do need to do more.
Right.
Maybe I do need to interview artists and come on and
You
just
say
have,
K Love it now. You definitely
you
need to
know
interview
what?
K Love.
I think that'd be dope. K Love, you
Absolutely.
just been called out. And you know you can't not do what Deana Dean say, your God.
Right. Well,
And
it gotta be.
I'm
You
not
gotta
really
be.
in the business of disobeying Deana Dean either.
Hey,
So look like that's something we gotta pull off. Look like that's something we
please do. Please do.
Dean, I appreciate you. I love you.
I love you.
Dearly. Can't wait for you to get on down here to Phoenix. Can't wait to have your book signing. And just, I can't wait for the next book. I can't wait to watch you grow. I can't wait to
Thank you.
see what's happening next. So, love.
Love.
I appreciate
Peace.
you. All right. Take care.
You too.